Thank you very much for this time. It's an honor to be interviewing you. And I'm very excited to hear some of your most beautiful compositions being played by the amazing Philippine American Symphony Orchestra or FASO in the concert. So let's start with the first question. What do you look forward to about the full orchestra of FASO playing your compositions inside the majestic Walt Disney Concert Hall?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to listening to their interpretation of my music, because each arranger has a vision of my songs, and sometimes it's a slightly different take, and it's quite interesting to see, from their viewpoint, rather than copying the exact arrangement of my recording. So I'm looking forward to that, and I look forward to being surprised.
Let's play like a little game, because I just went on Spotify and I came up with some of your most popular songs on Spotify. So I'll bring up the title and tell me whatever comes to your mind. It can
Okay.
be something very short, as just something real short that maybe comes to your mind right away. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with Beautiful Girl.
Beautiful Girl. I remember Vilma Santos and Barreto, several other actresses, that people thought I wrote that song for them. So even my wife was beginning to be suspicious. Did you really write this song for them?
And then Please Be Careful with My Heart.
Please Be Careful with My Heart started out as a solo song for Jam Morales. Please Be Careful with My Heart. And then several years later, I decided to make it a duet. So I had a response assuring the girl that, yes, I'll be careful with your heart from the very start.
Oh, beautiful. And My Girl, My Woman, My Friend.
Okay, I wrote that song on the occasion of the wedding of one of my sisters. And I wanted to write something inspirational, something that would inspire them to look forward to a beautiful lifetime together. So I said the secret to a successful marriage is to have your wife be your girl, your woman, your friend, your best friend, your lover, So I combined it into one. You're my girl, my woman, and my friend.
Very well said. And Constant Change.
Constant Change. I was living in the United States then, Ruben. I lived there for 11 years in New York, doing the sugar business. And then right after the revolution, when the sugar business in the Philippines was back to the private sector, we decided to return to Manila. And so I was on the plane and I was looking at the clouds. The clouds didn't seem to be moving, but actually the reality is when you look at the formation of the clouds, 5 minutes later, you look and the formation has changed. So it's constantly changing. So I said, after having lived in 11 years in New York, and now we have to move back to the Philippines, the friends we knew then, we will have to say goodbye to them. And then so it'll be a change of venue, again, change of place. So life is really a series of constant changes, and you just have to adapt to these changes.
And of course, the popular Can We Just Stop and Talk a While?
Okay, that song, that idea of that song came to me when I walked into a coffee shop one day, and I noticed that there was a girl seated by herself. And although I did not approach her, but the fantasy in my head was saying, what if I, she's attractive. What if I went up to her and said, hi, may I share this table with you? Are you expecting anyone? Can we just stop and talk a while? So it's like a casual meeting.
That's great. And among all your compositions, Mr. JMC, which one was the easiest to compose?
The easiest to compose was Mr. Songwriter. Have you heard that song before?
Yes, of course, yes.
Mr. Songwriter, I was like writing a song for someone like me who writes songs. Make it a short and simple melody. I was actually writing a very subtle protest against the martial law regime. You know,
Yes.
we have to, if you listen to the lyrics, plenty of lengthy discussions among leaders of nations, the weak and the strong, quarrels unending, suppression of rights. We can be strong. Let's sing with all our might. So, Mr. Songwriter, write me a song, make it a short and simple melody with words that will carry our message across, our message of peace to every country. So that was very easy because I was inspired because I woke up one morning and it was martial law, and the business of sugar was taken over by the government and given to one of the cronies. And so it was a very big disappointment that for 3 years we didn't have a business. So Mr. Songwriter was inspirational.
And which song was the most difficult or challenging to compose?
That's a good question. I have a song called Hahanapin Ko. And I was living in the US at the time when I composed that melody at the piano. And I felt that it was such a beautiful melody. So I said, where did this come from? It must have been a muse, a muse that whispered a melody to me. Okay, so I wrote that and I completed the whole melody, including the middle portion where it went fast. You familiar with that song?
I was there when I first heard it at the Metropop, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. So I said, okay, now that I have the song, I have to write the lyrics. And it took a long time for me, Ruben, to come up with lyrics. Somehow it was like I was staring at a blank wall. What should I say in this song? So a couple of months later, I came home to the Philippines and I met with Jimmy Santiago, who is an advertising man. And he was telling me that there was a Metropop contest. So I said, alam ko, I joined that already 2 years ago and I lost. What song was this? Minsan Pa. And it's such a beautiful song, lyrics written by Rolando Tino, and it lost. So disappointed. I said, no, let's try again. Come on. Do you have a song? I can write the lyrics. So I said, oh, yeah, okay. So I submitted to him the melody to him, and he lived with it for a couple of days. He said, "Ganda, Joe, ang ganda." So he wrote the words to Hahanapin Ko, and that has become one of my personal favorite compositions. But unfortunately, Ruben, again, it lost. But my satisfaction is looking back over the years, okay, that song has lived on. Very few people now listen to the winners of that year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the test of time that's more important to a song. For example, if you hear a song like Stardust of Hoagy Carmichael, until now, that song has lived on, even though the songwriters have all gone, but that song has lived on. And it is much more endearing than Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, you know what I mean? So the test of time again, Ruben. Sorry, I sound like a professor.
Oh, it's okay. It's so beautiful listening to you. And for my final questions, you've had a wonderful career. It's been 55 years now, and you have all these beautiful songs. But which song would you like to be remembered by? If there's one song that you would like to be remembered by.
Oh, that's a difficult question to answer because I'd like to be remembered for my songs like Refrain. I'd like to be remembered because of Christmas in Our Hearts, A Perfect Christmas. Can we just stop and talk a while? You know, so several, because each song of mine, Ruben, is like a child of mine. So each child has a unique talent. So perhaps this child of mine will become an excellent architect. This one is going to be a medical doctor. He's going to be a surgeon. And this other one is a professor. And this other one is a scientist. You know, so each child is special. And I cannot really say that this is my favorite child or no, that one. No, walang favoritism sa atin.
Mr. JMC, is so fun to listen to you. As
Thank you,
beautiful as
Ruben.
beautiful as listening to your song. So I'm looking forward to the concert. I'm gonna be there, and I'll be sure to introduce myself because you are a treasure among all of us Filipinos.
Thank you. But you know, every composer is special, Ruben. Each songwriter has a story to tell. Each songwriter is a painter. So I respect each and every one. So I cannot really say that this composer is better than this or that other composer. No, we're all uniquely good, blessed by God with that gift of music.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruben, and I look forward to meeting you.
Same
By the
here.
way,
Same here.
What province are you from? Nepal?
Pangasinan.
Ah,
Pangasinan.
Pangasinan. Okay, okay. All right. So
Thank you.
it's a pleasure talking to you, Ruben. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye now.